Welcome home, where we provide information, inspiration, and motivator after motivator after motivator here on America's Next. I have Antonia Williams with me today. How you doing, Antonia?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing quite well, where are you based out of?
Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised.
Atlanta.
Yes.
Wow, you said born and raised?
Yes.
What was it like? What was it like growing up in Atlanta for you?
Well, I'd say that we were homeless when I was a child. So, I was about
Whoa. Let's take this from the very beginning. Where did you live first before you became homeless?
Okay. On the west side of Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay.
On the west side of Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. You were living on the west side of Atlanta. Was that easy for you? Was it rough for you? What was it like there?
It was, like I said, we were homeless, so it wasn't kind of rough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, how old were you during this time when y'all were homeless?
I'm about 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this installment of America's Next Motivator. We're talking to a young woman who she's been a diamond in the rough from the very beginning. As you can see, as soon as she starts telling her story, she's already talking about hardship. I'd like for you guys to take a moment to share this stream, invite a friend, invite a family member, invite a teenager, a young adult to be a part of this episode with us as we get into this conversation. Okay, so Miss Williams, tell me what were your elementary school years like? Let's talk about first grade. Do you remember that?
No, I don't. I'll say I probably remember up until 4th grade.
Okay. What was elementary school like for you?
So I was always, I would say, like this teacher's pet. And I was really, I wouldn't say outgoing, but I was more so, joining clubs. I was more so the speaker for if the teacher needed me to do something and stuff. Elementary school was actually nice. I did love my elementary school, and I accomplished a lot of things in elementary school as a young kid. So
right.
It was good. It was good.
Did you see elementary school as a way for you to excel in life, even at the young age of maybe 6 or 7 years old?
Yes. I did.
Wow. Did you spend time reading books?
Yes, I did.
Like a lot of books, or
not a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but a few. Yeah.
Wow. Now, I also want to know, did you ever write cursive? Was cursive a part of your curriculum when you were younger or not?
Say that one more time.
Cursive. Did you ever write cursive?
Cursive, and like just actually writing cursive?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right, everybody. We got one of the last members of the cursive generation with us today. All right. So elementary school, it was a place where you decided to get involved.
Right. Yes.
Right. Any clubs or organizations you were a part of in elementary school?
I've joined the Unity Club. It was about, unity and stuff. I joined Girls on a Run. It was basically like a track team. And I've joined a lot of other clubs. I just don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your parents are very supportive?
So my dad, we became homeless because, he left us. And stuff like that. So that's how the homelessness started. So it was really just my mom. She was the main supportive person. She basically molded me into who I am today.
So your father left you all, and then you and your mother went into warrior mode. Is that right?
Yes. And it's 6 of us. She has 6 kids.
Oh, wow. Okay. And are you the oldest, middle child, or youngest?
I'm the fifth youngest. And it's my little brother under me.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How old is your oldest sibling?
My oldest sibling, he is 31, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm already already inspired by this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Just the strength and the mentality that y'all apparently took on at such an early point in your life is already an inspiration for me. Can you talk to me about how your mother influenced you to be a hard worker even in elementary school?
So it was around the age of 12 years old. She started taking me out to events, whether she was doing community service or whether she was speaking at the event. And she just started molding me into becoming a speaker, molding me into being, more out there in the community and stuff. And so that's how that started. In elementary school, I was always, like I said, I was always speaking at a club or speaking for a teacher or something. And after that, it just became a passion and an ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And what is the value of community service to you?
Basically, to me, like giving back. That's a big thing. And my mom teaches us that a lot. To give back, especially, don't ever forget where you came from. Always, keep going back. Always support the community, especially, Black communities at that. And so just basically giving back and helping others.
Sure. So can you describe your first time speaking? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
All right.
So like I said, I was 12 years old. My first time was at the SCLC Youth Oratorical Contest. It's the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And so the whole event or the whole theme was nonviolence. And so I had to write about, stopping the youth violence. And so I did really good. I actually won first place. And so after that, I was like, you know what, this is my thing. I can roll with it. And that's what I did. So.
Wow. So for those of us who might not know what an oratory contest is, can you explain that?
Yes, it's just a speaking contest, basically.
Okay, speaking contest. Mm-hmm. And they give you a topic?
Yes, so it was nonviolence and it was stopping the youth violence.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what did you do? Did you write a 3-minute speech, or how did the presentation go?
Yes. Let's see. It was about 3-4 minutes. 3-4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow. Were you nervous? Do you remember?
I was nervous, yes. And I actually did remember my piece. That's one thing about me. I can remember things very easily. And so I did remember my piece. I probably stumbled maybe 1 or 2 times. But other than that, I remembered it.
Do you remember any of it today? Can we get a couple bars? A couple bars.
Let me see. I kind of do. I mean, I have a lot of pieces that I do remember.
Okay.
But I kind of remember that. I don't want to kind of.
Let us get 1 bar from your first speech.
Okay. Let me think a little minute.
Gotcha. While she's thinking of that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here today. We have Sierra Young here, who has said that this is an awesome conversation. Ani King said your mother is awesome. So we have people here in the building today with us. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here to support this tremendous story.
Okay. I think I remember a little bit now. If I stumble,
okay. I'm not quoting you.
Okay. My mother taught me about the evils in the world. She told me that, see, I remember it, but it's like.
Yeah, but even that alone, that sounded good. I was prepared to listen. How did you get over your nerves when you gave your first speech?
Let's see. I mean, at first I was nervous, but then I was like, I don't know. You know how some people think about the imagine no one's in the crowd type of thing. I guess that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And I just went for it.
You just went out there and went for it. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get out there and go for it. Now, how did you feel once you finished that, and when you got the first place award? How did you feel?
I felt great. And like I said, I did stumble a little bit, so it was like I didn't know if I was going to win, or I didn't know anything. I was just going up there. My mom put me in this speaking competition, and I went for it, and I did good. And a lot of people got a lot of compliments on it, and everybody liked it. So,
right, all right, okay. And so now you obviously finished elementary school with flying colors. Mm-hmm. What was middle school like for you?
Okay, so for middle school, It's basically the same thing, but I was more, getting more into it. Like I said, I've joined clubs in almost every school year. And I got more into getting more connections with the teachers. And with that, they'll have me be a speaker for certain events or for school. What are those things called?
Like projects or assemblies.
Yes, school assemblies, school projects, all of that good stuff. And so I just kept
Went
progressing
from there.
basically. Hmm.
Right. Now, how long were you all homeless?
For about 3.5 years.
3.5 years. So what grade were you in when y'all moved into a place?
Let's see, fourth, fifth grade.
So you went through at least 3 school years
Hmm.
homeless.
Right.
And people around you, talk about what that was like. What was it like going to school, doing the best you could, getting involved, and then you might see people getting picked up right outside by their father,
Mhm.
driving to their home, but you were homeless at the time. How did
Right.
that?
So like I said, I was young, but I do remember two main things that kind of impacted me.
Mhm.
One of them being my mother. She had like the car was kind of broken down. So every morning before we would drive out of the driveway, she would pop in a Sam Cooke, a change is gonna come. And so we would all just sing it, hoping the car wouldn't break down. And not knowing our mother was crying in the front seat, just praying to God and stuff. And so that was kind of an impact moment because then in that moment, we felt like there was hope, like we had each other. No matter what was happening, we had each other. And that song kind of did something to us. Um, Another thing was a shelter that we were at. We were there for about 3 months within that 3-year range of us being homeless. And that homeless shelter actually gave us a sense of what home felt like, a sense of what that others cared for us. And so that kind of impacted me as well because it just made it seem like that we were loved by others. Mm-hmm.
Would you say that music was an inspiration for you early in your life?
Um, yes, for the most part, yes.
Okay. And
Hmm.
did you guys go to church and stuff like that too?
Yes, not often though.
Not often.
Hmm.
Okay. And the only reason I ask that is because when you said that y'all would ride to school listening to Sam Cooke, a change is gonna come, my heart almost stopped because I can identify with that moment of you all feeling like we're going through this right now, but we won't be going through this later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Yeah,
must have felt that way.
that's true.
Sure. Okay. Um, what did you start getting involved with in middle school in terms of programs and sports and athletics and academics? What did you start doing? What you get involved with?
Okay, let's see. I got involved in SGA, so I was a student body. Um, let's see what else. I've also kind of did a little volleyball. I'm not gonna say I'm a whole sports fan, but I did one thing about me, I would try something out.
Okay.
So it was either volleyball, ran a little cross country, didn't last long, but I ran cross country. And just getting basically into just various things or even after school events that they needed me to do or come to.
Mhm. How did you avoid? I'm sure everything that was happening around you was not positive. How did you avoid drugs, um, skipping class, skipping school, being around negative influences? How did you avoid those pitfalls?
So one thing my mother always says, and one thing she vowed was to never let the um, the streets raise us or the jails were going to house us. And so she always kept us on point. She never let anyone, us go around anyone that was a bad influence. She always kept us focused. And that really helped us a lot because it's so many young people that some parents don't care. They just let their kids do whatever. And so I'm grateful for that because that really helped me. That helped my siblings to not go into that path. And so
Mhm.
that's why we're all, doing great things and stuff. And we never crossed that path. So
So
yes.
your mother was right out
Hmm.
in front with you,
Hmm.
making sure that you knew that she cared about you and making sure that you knew that she was protecting you.
Right. Exactly.
What would you say to mothers out there or fathers out there who are not in their children's lives?
I feel like they need to be. They need to be. It's essential. It's very important because so many kids just want that, just want that acceptance from their parents. So many kids just want their parents to say, I'm proud of you. I love you. So they won't drift off into something else or to be someone else. So many kids just need their parents to, raise them and stuff. And for the parents out there, if you're not raising your child, it's sad, because especially during this time, we really need them most.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like your mother's love, it gave you hope and it inspires you to really become the star that you obviously were from birth.
Right.
Yeah. Um, at what age did you realize that you wanted to be a star in your life?
Um, since basically elementary school, my first career choice was a lawyer. And that I had that in my head for a minute. But once I got to high school and I actually learned exactly what I wanted to do, for one, my passion for doing spoken word, that came from a great spoken word artist, Ernestine Johnson. I'm not sure if you heard of her, but she's a great spoken word artist. And so my 11th year in high school, I decided to, she was my inspiration. So I seen her piece, Not the Average Black Girl. And that was my first piece that I remembered. And so after that, after saying that piece for a few times at the talent show and stuff like that, I finally decided to write my own pieces. And so that pushed me to even harder to become a speaker, pushed me even harder to do more spoken word. And so that's how that kind of, drifted into me.
What age were you when you, well, not necessarily what age, but when in general did you write your first spoken word piece?
16.
16?
Yes.
Okay. And where was your first performance of that spoken word piece?
The Apex Museum.
Apex Museum. Okay.
Yes,
You got any spoken word for us today?
I do.
Okay, all right. Do you have multiple pieces or you just got
So I have multiple. Do you want to hear history or do you want to hear like we need to do better type of pieces?
let's start with let's do better, something short, something light, and then we'll put a capstone at the end of the conversation, all right?
Okay. I
All
don't
right,
think none of my pieces are kind of light.
okay.
So
Do your thing. Do your thing. This is your platform. Go ahead.
okay. So my favorite piece is Blackout. And here it
Okay.
goes. We're supposed to be fighting. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Blackout. Total isolation, no sound, free of everything. This piece is directly from the heart. And I'm speaking to you all personally, so don't disregard. Millennials of this generation, why have you turned your back on others? Fake loving, ass kissing, backstabbing one another. You should be ashamed and always people hating. Look at yourself. This ain't evil nation. I got a whole lot to say, and I ain't abbreviating or sugarcoating the fact that y'all going crazy. We're supposed to be in this together, but yet we strive for failure, and I'm fed up. My stress level ran up. I can't believe this, man. We the future of this generation. I thought we were destined for greatness. Want to kill one another, steal from one another, be unloyal and untrustworthy to your brothers? And you sisters ain't no different, saying your friend up for remembrance. You see, we're at a time in our lives that if we keep doing what we're doing, we'll kill humanity and be ruined. And see, if we don't do nothing about this, then what are we really doing? What happened to respect? RESPECT. Find out what it means to you. People want respect but ain't giving it. How can you respect me when you don't respect yourself? You want loyalty but don't know a thing about commitment. You want honesty but always lying. Got the more filling up because people are dying. I bet if you have enough dignity, you act accordingly. Setting examples lead to us being trampled by this battle we face like we're in a race. And don't dare tell me it was how you was raised. You do know right from wrong, right? So why misbehave? Acting like y'all care one day to the next, so what? It was just a phase. Be the main ones preaching about a change, but your actions are so insane and deranged. But I'm sticking to my word like Ali, King and X. Damn, man, what's next? I'm hurting because y'all my people. And this means something much deeper. And if we don't get our shit together, ain't no more endeavors because it's now or never. And right now I'm feeling kind of under the weather. I just want to black out. I just want to set myself from all the disbelief so I can feel relieved. I just want to black out before I tap out from all the shit y'all doing to get clout. I just want to black out. Blackout. Total isolation. No sound. Free of everything.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, something told me that you were a star. I don't even know how I came across your name. Something just told me, find out if I can get in touch with her. And matter of fact, I know what it was. I found you as an author because you're also an author. Is that correct?
Right, right.
We'll talk about that in the second segment. But I'm just extremely encouraged by your evolution and what's in store for you in the future. That was a beautiful piece that you provided for us just now, and that's what this platform is for. Young people today will become the leaders of tomorrow, and so
Right.
I want to hear what you got. I want to share it with the community so people can understand what's on the mind of the current generation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you talked about respect.
Right.
Um, what do you say? What do you say to young men and women across the world right now who don't understand respect? What is respect?
Respect meaning just, if you want respect, so you need to give it. You want somebody to be nice to you, so how about you be nice to that person? You want somebody to do right by you, so do right by that person. It's simple. It's just it's simple. And people don't understand that, like, it's so simple that it's crazy how we're not even, practicing that. How we're not even doing it, to each other. But we want to respect other people, but we can't respect each other, especially. And I'm really mainly talking about our race when I said that piece.
Okay,
We're respecting other people, but we can't respect each other.
right.
Hmm.
And do you have? I mean, what would you say to a young woman out there? She's probably 15 years old.
Hmm.
She might be upset with what's going on in her family, what's going on in her community. Can you provide some encouragement for her today?
Um, keep your eye on the prize. Keep focused. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't follow into the crowd, because that can be tempting. If you have a gift, use it. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has a purpose. And I know sometimes it may be hard to find it, but one day that you will find it. And if you do find it, work with it. Keep working at it, and always have faith. Faith is big. Through those hardships that we had, I had difficulty believing and trusting in God, but I had to learn that you have to trust the process. And yet I'm still trusting the process. So you still have to have faith. You still have to believe in God. You still have to have that hope that one day you will get out of it. My mom always taught me that we can rewrite our story. And that's what I'm doing. That's what my siblings are doing. That's what you all should be doing. All the young
Right.
people out there, all my peers. That's what you should be doing. If you're going through it, keep going. Keep pushing. Your circumstances do not define your future.
And just for people to understand out there, you're not 30 years old, are you?
No, I'm 19 years old.
You're 19 years old.
Yes.
Um, I'm almost speechless in this conversation with you because of the magnitude of what you're doing. You might not even know the full magnitude of what you're doing, but I can see it. You're
Right.
creating positive media for people in your age group as well as adults. It's not just for kids, it's also for adults to
Mhm.
see, how you really feel. And this is coming from the mind and the heart of somebody who's been through a struggle. Your life wasn't easy, and you made a conscious decision to be a positive person and to be a positive influence. That's absolutely huge. That's
Yes.
absolutely huge. If you can, I want you to let us know, what would you say is the top 3 lessons that your mother taught you? Top 3, just choose 3.
Um, like I said, number one, to not forget where you came from.
Mhm.
Number two, to always love, to always, be like Jesus. I don't know if there's Christians out, if you all are Christians out there, but to be more like Jesus. Love, share kindness, be kind. You never know who's who. You never know if there's an angel right in front of you. And number three, um, just keep going, never give up. Like I said before, she taught us that we can rewrite our story. And so don't ever think that, your life stops there. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can rewrite your story, and you can turn out to be the best person that you can possibly be.
Without a doubt. Without a
Right.
doubt. Do you also provide encouragement to your brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do.
Just all around role model.
Yes. Indeed.
Um, do you intend to travel the world someday?
Yes. I'm thinking about that now. So
Where are you thinking about going?
um let's see. As far as when you say travel the world, speaking wise or just like vacation wise?
Both.
Okay. I want to go to the islands, maybe Jamaica or something.
Okay.
But I also want to at least go to all 50 states. I do have my I'm Flossum brand. If we're going to talk about that soon, my I'm Flossum brand for my book, I'm Flossum. And I want to be able to travel with that and speak about that, as well as me actually being a speaker in general. I want to be able to be a motivator, motivate young people. That's my main thing, to motivate my peers, because we need people my age to be able to say, hey, look, you can do it, I can do it. We both can do it, and be able to just say, no matter what you're going through, you can get through it, basically.
What now? One day, I'm going to predict the future a little bit lightly. If you haven't already experienced this, one day you're going to be in a room with some young people, and they're gonna say, Antonia, you are great, but that's not me. You are super talented. I'm not talented.
Mm-hmm.
You can go far. I can't go far. What would you say to them?
I say, for one, those words aren't true. And just where you're sitting, I can say, like, where you're sitting right now, I once were as well. So it's not easy. It's not easy. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be just a quick jolly road down the line. It's never going to be easy. And so it's hard for people to see their vision when, it's cloudy. It's hard for people to see where they're going when they don't know where they're going. And so I feel like if I can teach them to stay focused, teach them to, keep going after your dreams, because it's not easy. Everyone knows in this whole world it's not easy to get where you want to be. So if you got to keep fighting, keep pushing. I love to motivate people. I love to uplift people because that's my thing. So I'm going to tell them that where I'm at now, I haven't always been like this. I had to work for it. And that's what they have to do. They have to work for it. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has a purpose. They just have to find it and work with it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Antonia Williams today. This has already been a great discussion. If you just tuned in, you're going to want to watch the replay. We'll post after this broadcast is over. But for now, we're getting ready to take a brief break, and then we'll be right back with Miss Antonia Williams. America's Next Motivator, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. America's Next Motivator, hosted by me, Cedric Riley, and sponsored by the Pride Empowerment Network. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a very inspirational show today. And then we also have another inspiration. His name is Michael Lauren Harris. You could possibly be on his show as well. He's a big time motivator, and he says hashtag keep pushing. And he also says, I love this girl. So, Ms. Williams, you're getting a lot of love and support from the community out there today. A little bit of everybody's watching, listening, and you're doing an incredible job. Now, in addition to being a spoken word artist, as well as a motivational speaker, you're also an author. Is that correct?
Yes, a 3 times author.
A 3 times author, excuse me. So you've written at least 3 books.
Yes.
Wow. Would you like to talk about one of those books today?
Yes. So my first book, I wrote my first book at 15 years old. It's titled Answers from God. Answers from God is about 2 sisters who goes down different paths in life, but through prayer and dreams, God reunites them. And then my second book, Call on Me, I wrote that a year later. It's about Call on Me.
Okay.
It's about a wealthy atheist woman who suddenly realizes her money can't save her when she becomes ill. And so I recently published my first children's book, June, and it's titled I'm Flossum. It's about 10 kids who talks about their flaws and insecurities, as well as how they learn to love and accept them for what they are, because regardless of their flaws, they are still awesome.
Not only are you an author, but you're just an overall creator. You're creating new words.
Yeah.
You're creating a whole new wave.
Right.
Yeah, matter of fact, you're creating a whole brand. You are a brand.
Yes.
Let me introduce you again. I have to reintroduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to the brand Latonia Williams today. Antonia Williams today.
And
I'm sorry, she's her own brand. This is what we look for when we look for America's Next Motivator and when we look for stars amongst our generations, people who are creating brands. Now, I'm Flawsome. For any young lady or young man out there today who does not understand what Flawsome is, can you unpack that for us? Can you teach us what Flawsome is?
yes. So flawsome is two words combined, flaws and awesome. Flawsome is an
Okay.
individual who embraces their flaws and knows they're awesome regardless.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Um, there's always somebody that's gonna say, I don't get it, I don't understand.
Okay.
Can you explain it one more way?
Yes. So basically, you have to know that regardless of your flaws, you're still awesome. Your flaws do not define you. So don't let it affect you, basically.
Right.
Just know that you are still awesome. If you're a little skinnier, that's cool. If you're a little bigger, that's cool. If you wear glasses, that's fine. If you have some kind of disability, that's cool. Your flaws do not define you. They're just a part of you. And that's what I want people to understand. Like, don't let it affect you. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it bring you to that depression state. You know what I'm saying? So many people that struggle with so many insecurities and flaws when it doesn't even define who you are for real. It's just a part of you. That's all I'm saying.
You know, you're on the right track. I personally believe, and you might not know, Antonia, me myself, I spent years of my life in foster care. I'm also a motivational speaker. And when it comes to flaws, I have some thoughts on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a flaw. Everybody has a flaw. But it's up to you to overcome it, to deal with it, to get out on the other side of it, because your flaw is your gateway to success. There's a lot of people who want to be successful, but they don't deal with their flaw or they haven't discovered their flaw. So I'm right in line with you. I totally agree with you 100%. But I just see you creating an entire movement with young men and women today who they need a new word, and you created it. It's Flawsome.
Right.
They need a new culture, and that's the entire brand of what you're doing. Do you have a website where somebody can find you?
Yes. So I have awokenvoice.com and I also have imflawsome.one.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Flawsome.one. That's where somebody can find you and either book you. Can they buy a book there and everything
Yes,
else?
they can.
Okay. All right. Wow. What's next for you?
So I'll be I'm actually writing my fourth book. I'm still getting the storyline out there, but it'll be titled Stained. And so I'll say more about it when I do actually flourish it out. But I do have my I'm Flossing brand, and that consists of here's my book. I don't know if y'all can see
Open some pages up for us. It looks great.
Yes. Let's see. So
Nice.
I don't know if y'all can see that from light, but
the book is for everybody.
Yes, it's for everyone. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Can you talk to us, for those of us who might be writing a book and trying to figure out how to go from an idea to an actual physical book? Can you give us some ideas of how to actually achieve that?
Yes. So I self-published through Kindle Direct Publishing. I didn't go through a large publishing company. So for those who are just starting out, I believe that self-publishing is good. It has the free ISBN number, all of that good stuff. And it's pretty simple setup. Only thing you probably need to pay for is an editor and stuff. Don't focus on, the grammar stuff. Just write out your book. If you got an idea, write it out, because you don't want it to, you don't want it to go to waste, or you don't want it to slip your mind. So if you have an idea that you want to write a book, write it. Stop procrastinating. Just write it. I mean, it's simple. Just write it. And then after that, like I said, Kindle Direct Publishing is a publishing company that you can self-publish for.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. What does your family think about your accomplishments and your tenacity?
They love it. They say I'm amazing. I'm awesome. But no, ever since I was 8 years old, they say I was on the phone. The little track phones, the Obama phones.
Right.
I will always call the customer service number to get my minutes every month. And so they was
Right.
like, oh, she's been a little lady ever since she was 8 years old.
Right.
But
You were
so
about your business early.
right.
Absolutely. I'm inspired today. And I think I think your story is one that it needs to be known. And young ladies and young men around the world, they need to know about you, because some people, they wait until they're 21 to start getting busy.
Yes.
But you didn't. You hit the ground running. And I'm inspired by that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You ever thought about writing possibly a play or a movie?
Actually, I did write a play to my second book, Call on Me. Again, that's about a wealthy atheist woman who suddenly realizes her money can't save her when she becomes ill. And I did write a play to that. And I actually did have what are those things called? Casting calls and everything. I even had people to play the parts, but it just didn't go well. I guess it wasn't just the right time. So many people, it wasn't consistent. I was consistent. I was ready for it. But, you have to have a whole team to be ready and be a part of it.
Did you say that you wrote a play already?
Yes.
Sometimes we have to be clear about what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are looking at a prophet. We are looking at somebody who is a member of the future. This woman is a member of the future. And so if you all can, I want you to buy a book from her, buy some merchandise from her, find out more, go to her website, book her. Get her into rooms with your young people. Get her into rooms with your children. Get her at your next conference. Get her at your next assembly, because this young woman right here, she is she's talented, she's gifted, and she has an anointing on her life. And that's obvious to me. It's obvious to me. I'm looking forward to the things that you got coming down the line. And I think that you're just off to a great start. I can't get enough of the things that we've been talking about so far in this interview. Now I also want to know, has your father ever come back around?
No, actually, he passed away last year, 2019, September. And after he left us, he got on drugs. He never returned back to his normal state. And he failed. He was doing illegal work or whatever. And he fell 50 feet on his head. And so yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But one thing that I'm always remember with him, he came to my 18th birthday, and my birthday and graduation was on the same day. So he came, and that was one thing that I will always cherish, because he was always proud of me. That's one thing for sure I know. He was always proud of me. He always loved to see me do great things, me and my brother. And so that's one thing that I will always cherish from him. So
without a doubt. Yeah, you're definitely representing. I can see you representing for parents all over the world right now. People talking about, that's my baby. They don't even know you. They talking about, that's my baby. She representing. Look at her. And just if you guys just tuned in, Antonia is going to have some more spoken word for us at the end, toward the end of this interview. So you're still in for a treat. I want you guys to sit tight, remain, and because she got something for us at the end here. I want to talk about when did you have a challenge in your professional life and overcome that challenge?
Okay. So after graduating from high school, I went on to basic training, the Army basic training, October. And so it was rough. It was rough. And the reason I went is because I didn't want to go to college right away. And I didn't want to just sit there, not doing anything. So I decided to go to the basic training. And that was one of the hardest challenges that I've ever had to face in my life. I've had to adapt to a whole new lifestyle. I've had to learn so many new things. I've had to work with people of different races, different ethnicity. You know what I'm trying to say?
Ethnicities.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm getting tongue-tied. And it was rough. It was rough, but I've learned so much from it, and it's
Okay. Would you encourage other young women or young men to join the service?
Yes.
Okay.
Only if they're built for it. I believe that wasn't my purpose. I just went to, like I said, so I won't be just sitting at home, not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that if you're built for it, if you've been doing sports, if you feel like you want to serve your country, and you feel like that's something that you'll easily get adapted to, especially with the physical aspect. The mental part is another thing, but the physical is also another thing as well. You have to be physically fit, mentally ready to, be prepared to do whatever they say that you need to do. And so it's rough. Three things I learned from there though was leadership, discipline, and team building. And so I can now apply that to my life, and I can also teach others the same thing as what I learned from that, because
Right.
it didn't go to waste. It didn't go to waste. So I did learn from something from it.
Leadership, discipline, and
And
team building.
Right.
Okay. And so ultimately, you have decided to continue to embark on your dreams and your passions going forward.
Yes.
Sure. I commend you for that. I commend you for that. What do you think? What do you think leadership is? What do you think leadership is?
Leadership is sometimes being the bigger person when you don't want to. Leadership is, teaching others, and not just trying to lead, not just trying to be the boss, but actually trying to get people to, helping people basically. So many people want to just rule over people. So many people want to just, take over people when that's not leadership. That's dictating. Leadership is knowing that you need to stick up. I mean, not stick up. You need to be the bigger person. You need to do what's right. And you need to be able to, help others get to the top, be able to help others make it, be able to help others accomplish their goals and their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What role do you think that social media plays in the lives of people today?
Social media, I say this all the time, and it's in one of my pieces. Social media is a big issue. It's a fake representation of our imagination. It's so degrading. It tells us that we need to be this certain type of person that we're not. Like we have it all together when really we don't. It tells us that we need to, act a certain way and we'll get a lot of followers. Act a certain way and we'll probably, it doesn't teach us the reality of life. It teaches us the fake representation of life. Something that we want, but it's not really true. It can't happen. They teach us to be, you got to be this supermodel. You got to be this. No. Mm-mm. So I don't believe social media is kind of not the way to go when you're trying to, make it in life. Not the way to go when you're trying to find inspiration. Or now there are people on social media who use the platform, to inspire people, to motivate people. But social media in general is not good, for people who are trying to make it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so it sounds like social media reminds you to be a real person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I want you to talk to us about what it means to be real. Everybody does not know what it means to be real. And
Right.
So can you do us the value of explaining what real means?
Yes, being real is just being you, basically. Be you. Don't try to be somebody else that you're not. Don't try to please everyone else, because you can't please everyone else. Everybody isn't going to like what you're doing. Everybody isn't going to like you. So you have to be you. You have to be real, because at the end of the day, all that stuff is not going to matter. At the end of the day, the only thing that's going to matter is your character, the type of person that you were, and the things that you did to impact other people in life. That's the only thing that's going to matter. Be real is to be you, basically. Be your authentic self. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. That's going to drift away from who you really are and who you're trying to be. That's going to drift away from who God sought you out to be. Like, don't follow other people. Don't follow the crowd. That's not the way to go.
Do you think it's important for everybody to tell their story?
Yes, it is. Because you never know who's listening. You never know who can help you. You never know if there's people who are going through the same thing. So many people think, oh, if I tell my story, people look at me different. Or no, tell your story. Tell it proud, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's there to help you. You never know what it can change, what it can do for you. Mm-hmm. Tell it.
What would you say to an older person, somebody who is much older than you, who's never told their story? What would you say to them?
Stop procrastinating and tell it today.
Wow. Call to action. Yeah. Tell your story. We need your stories. What if Miss Williams here, Antonia Williams, what if she never decided to speak? We wouldn't have the I'm Flossum brand. We wouldn't have 3 books. We wouldn't have a play that could possibly turn into a movie. Right? Yeah. When we begin to tell our stories, something about telling your story, the universe likes that. Mm-hmm. The universe likes it when we tell our story. So everybody out there today, be encouraged. Share your story. Share your story.
Yes.
Gosh, you're just popping. Sierra Young says, you are a whole vibe. And Mr. Lauren Harris says, hook me up with her, Cedric Riley. I would love to have her on my show. So as you can see, people are lining up. People want to get involved with you. People want to learn more about what you're doing, and they want to get you more exposure because what you're doing is so great. I don't know whether to be a TV show host right now or to just be your number one supporter, you know. And so that's why I'm just like pausing a little bit because it's important to encourage one another, and it's important to recognize when somebody is adding value to the community that, hey, let's ring the bell. Let everybody know that this person is trying to do things, you know? Now, for those people who are dealing with the pandemic right now, I don't want to act like that's not also a reality. What can you motivation can you provide, or what words of encouragement can you provide for people who feel like their life has come to a halt during this pandemic? They stopped writing their book, they stopped designing their clothes, they stopped getting involved out there in the community because of the pandemic. What would you have to say to them today?
This pandemic is like a standstill, and I feel like so many people have complained, even when there wasn't the pandemic, that, oh, I'm too busy to do this, or my plate is full. But look at this, look at what's happening now. There's not much going on. There's stores closing and stuff. So this is your time now to really dig into what you really want to do. Like I said, stop procrastinating. Procrastination is such a big thing. So many people do it all the time. I do it sometimes. But I have to realize and get back into reality. Like, you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Like I said, this pandemic is something that should be able to motivate you to say, hey, look, there's not much going on. I don't have so much on my plate. Do it. You want to write that book, go in a quiet place, get a little tea, put a little tea on, start writing. If you want to write a movie, if you want to write a script, if you want to start a business, start it. This is the time to start it, because so many people, are starting business. So many people are actually going after their dreams. I've seen it happening on social media. So many people have been starting business since this pandemic has started. So why are you procrastinating? Why are you waiting? There's no time to wait. You can always perfect everything later. There's always a later, but start now. Start now.
I want you to finish this prediction with me.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years, I will be
a millionaire.
Wow. Keep going.
In 3 years, I will be one of the top young speakers. There it is.
That's right.
In 3 years, my Flossin brand will be worldwide, and it'll have a lot of recognition, a lot of exposure. In 3 years, I would have traveled, I'll say, half of the states. In 3 years, my name will be known. I wouldn't just be, known locally in my city. I'll be known everywhere around the world, nationally.
International.
Yeah, international. Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay. Looks like it's that time for us to get that piece that you said that you were going to share with us. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please get some hearts in the building? Some hearts, some smiley faces, some comments, some love, man, because she's given us all type of wisdom and jewels and energy this morning, and it's been great. All right, we're going to quiet down, calm down, and you're going to do some spoken word for us. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready.
All right, so this piece is titled Roots Untold. Every year we're being taught about Black history, and yet we fail to realize that what we're being taught isn't as accurate as we thought. We listen to teachers, professors, thinking they're right, only finding out it isn't precise. We don't do anything about it, and let our minds get blinded of our history that has yet been a mystery. Why hide our past when it's gotten us this far in life? We should know the truth and expose it to the youth so our young people can know our roots. Many of the things we use every day was invented by a Black person, and that's a fact. For example, I'm guessing you didn't know that Frederick M. Jones invented the air conditioning unit. Henry T. Thompson invented the cellular car phone. And when you didn't feel like walking up those steps, Alexander Miles invented the elevator. J. Standard invented the refrigerator. African Americans not only were inventors, but also leaders who made great accomplishments and a great impact then and now. And since you really don't know about our history, Let me take you on a history ride. Did you know W.E.B. Du Bois was the greatest African-American intellectual figure of the 20th century and one of the most influential Black political thinkers before Martin Luther King Jr.? Henry Tanner, the first African-American artist to receive international recognition. Before Richard Pryor, there was Burt Williams, the most brilliant comedian America has produced. Before James Cleveland, who vocals made us praise, there was Thomas A. Dorsey, the father of gospel music, paving the way. If we haven't been taught these things, there must be a reason why. Our Black history is so rich that it is filled with legendary leaders across life's timeline. Like, for instance, we've heard about Michelangelo, but what about Jacob Lawrence? What about Jacob Lawrence, a man who brought the history of Black life to life in paint? But wait, we must not faint. There's more. I know they once believed that the white man invented all these things, but did you know that 90% of microphones used today were invented by Dr. James West? What about the 3D viewing glasses and holography? Yeah, Kim Duncan was responsible for that. And before we wrap up this little history lesson, Black people have always been a blessing. So tell me why they're not in our curriculum lesson. Maybe so many young people have not gone astray if they knew how powerful we were back in the day. So let me ask you this. Why is it that our rich history was omitted from the history books? So what's your outlook? Let me tell you mine. I believe teach us what to think, not how to think, because they're scared of our powerful Black minds. Thank you. Got a little nervous, but
No, I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. I just thought that was incredible. That's all. How do you memorize your pieces? How do you memorize them?
It's easy. Well, to me, it's easy.
Yeah.
I memorized in about 3 days, 3-4 days. So it's pretty.
No, you're different. You're different. She said, I memorized it in 3-4 days. You're different. That was a whole book.
Yeah.
She memorizing books,
Right.
Just nothing but positivity. Nothing but positivity. Can we get one more piece from you?
Sure.
because and the reason I asked that is because Michael Lauren Harris, he came in halfway, but he's going to be a great member of your network. And he didn't hear your first piece, which was incredible. So if you could give us one more piece similar to the one you did earlier, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay. No justice, no peace.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm trying to. Oof, sorry. I do answers from God. I'm sorry, not answers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll do America as I know it. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be fighting poverty, not starting wars. Fighting against gun violence, not pulling the trigger. Fighting against police brutality when they're supposed to protect us, but instead killing us. We're robbing our sisters and brothers for $20, throwing our life away behind bars. Peter will rob Bob, Bob will rob Peter. Such a hopeless generation. Loyalty is now a non-existent word. Friendships last only as far as tomorrow. Strangers will treat you better than family and will walk by someone and show no empathy, when in reality it can be us. Kids are hiding behind closed doors, keeping secrets. Billy down the street getting secretly molested, afraid to tell someone because his molester told him if you do so, you'll be punished. So he kept his mouth shut because he didn't want to suffer more than he did. But this is America, as I know it. And so they think suicide is better than getting bullied. That even our children's hearts have turned cold. I often wonder, who can I trust? Who can I turn to? Young Black boys and girls are still getting unfairly incarcerated. Their minds so saturated with negativity. Can't even dream of a future of peace, hope, love, and positivity. Something we lack indefinitely. Racism is still occurring. And we wonder why we all just can't get along. It still feels like we're separate but not equal. Blacks are still treated like we have no freedom. We're very much hated. When will we be appreciated? Social media is a big issue. A fake representation of our imagination. Females dumbing themselves down, their crown tipping and slipping to the ground it goes, and who knows how far deep down they'll go. And the biggest thing I see amongst youth is the fact that I see a 6-year-old acting like a 16-year-old. Like, what's really up with that Timorian age? Living life in so much rage. Feeling like they're in a cage, popping pills and on dope like a deer caught in the headlights without hope. But this is America, as I know it. Oh, and I didn't forget to mention, kids are growing up inside single-parent households. It takes a village to raise a baby. It takes 2 people so everything can be equal. Mama dragging babies, father acting like maybe I take care of my kids whenever I feel like it. Shit. But this is America, as I know it. They say they come in our neighborhood to make it better. But we all know it's about that cheddar, getting the Black folks out who've been there since day one. Saying it's to boost the economy. I'm not crazy, son. How is it to boost the economy when our grandmas and grandpas can no longer stay there? It's only for white Americans and they're here. We call it gentrification, pushing our people out to different locations. But this is America, as I know it. And I can go on and on about America and how I know it to be. But is this really America? home of the brave, the proud, the free, or a made-up world that resulted in a twisted catastrophe? America as I know it. Thank you.
Mhm. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to protect her. We have to protect her legacy. We have to uphold wherever she wants to go. Let's support her wherever she goes. When you see her name, let's support her. Um, Antonia, what is survival to you? We're wrapping up.
Survival. Hustling. And not in that type of
I got
drug.
you.
Hustling
Okay.
as far as making a living for yourself.
Mhm.
Actually going out there and making a life for yourself. Stop being petty, pitying yourself over something so small. Stop trying to make excuses. Stop trying to think you're don't belittle yourself. Hustle. You
Yep.
know? So if
Yep.
you want to survive, you
We got 1 minute left. What
okay.
is success to you?
Success. Living life to your most highest purpose, fulfilling the best that you can fulfill in life. You know, everyone is not going to be able to make it to the top, but as long as you should strive to be better, as long as you strive to make it as far as you can, that's success.
That's right. What is greatness to you?
Greatness. Just overall being the best that you can be. Overall being you. Greatness. Being awesome, being amazing, being a good person overall, a good human being. Having, kindness about yourself, having respect about yourself, having, love within yourself to share with others. Greatness.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Antonia Williams, I want to let you know that I commend your work today. I
Hmm.
respect it. I see you. I think that what you're doing is phenomenal. I give you your crown today. And you are one of America's next motivators.
Yes. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Without a doubt. I've had a great time with you today. Hopefully we'll see you. We'll see you soon on some big stages, on some big screens. And always, always, always remember that there's something here for you guys when you tune in to America's Next Motivator. I just need you to stop by and pick it up. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye. Hey, she did her thing today, y'all. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here today. Thanks for stopping by. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.